Hi everyone, Annie here, personal trainer and group fitness instructor at March Wellness. Today we are going to be doing a workout strength routine for runners. Okay, so this type of workout you can do on your off days between running. You can also do it after maybe a short, easier run. You do it directly after. Your muscles are going to be kind of fatigued from the run, so this is a good way to kind of challenge those muscles when they're in a fatigued state. But just be careful, if you're really tired, don't force yourself to do this workout. Save it for an off day between the runs, okay? So this is what we're going to be doing today. Really simple exercises, really basic, but all really good for runners, okay? So we're going to do rows, single leg RDLs, and a plank. We're going to do about 12 to 15 reps of each. 45 to 60 seconds at the plank, 2 times through. We're going to do push-ups, lunges, side runner plank the same way, 2 rounds through, and then we're going to do reverse flies, single leg bridge, and then a single leg raise ab exercise. So what I did is I broke each group of exercises down into one upper body, one lower body, and one core workout. So if you're feeling good, we're going to do this whole workout, but you can do maybe just 2 out of the 3 of these on other days, all right? So I like going through all these, helps keep all my muscles strong, because with running, it's a lot of cardio. You're still working your muscles, but the strength component isn't as much there, okay? So this workout is not gonna be focused on getting your heart rate up, high intensity, slowing it down, really focusing on strength and really targeting those muscles that runners need to strengthen, okay? So I'm going to demonstrate all the exercises and then we'll get started. The first 3 exercises we're going to do are bent over rows, single leg RDLs, and the plank. So first I'm going to start demonstrating the rows. You're going to grab your dumbbells or your band, whichever. Okay, you're going to stand feet about hip width apart, 6 to 8 inches. And turn this way so you guys can see. Shoulders back and down, abs engaged. Then you're gonna bend your knees a little bit and then hinge at your hips to bend over. So you're sticking your butt back so the weight is back in your hips and not in your lower back. Keeping a nice straight torso, abs engaged, dumbbells right beneath your shoulders. You're just gonna bring them up, squeeze your shoulder blades together, back down. Remember to avoid shrugging up like this. You don't want your shoulders to come up near your ears. Keep those shoulders down. Just get a nice pinch right in between the shoulder blades. Next, we are going to do single leg RDLs. So there are a few ways you can do this. The way I'm going to show you is a staggered stance. So that way you don't have to worry so much about balance. You can focus more on the exercise, really targeting the hamstring and the glute of the working leg. Okay, so say we're starting with our right leg. You're going to put your right leg out and you're going to move your left foot about a foot behind the other one. You don't want a big, wide stance like this. You just want about 6 to 12 inches difference, okay? So you're going to start by kind of shifting your weight up onto this right foot, right leg. So you can see my back heel is up, shoulders back and down, abs engaged. Okay, so what we're going to do, like with any RDL, we're focusing on pushing our hips back like you're trying to touch a wall behind you. Okay, so on that right leg, pushing the hips back, hinging over. You can bend your right knee just a little bit. You can also keep it straight, but I still have the majority of my weight on that right leg. The left leg is just there to keep me balanced. So maybe like a 70-30 split, 70 on the right, 30 on the left, okay? So push those hips back, the dumbbell on either side of the leg, and then drive through your right heel, squeeze your glutes to bring you all the way up to standing. So do a couple, you can see what it looks like. Again, really focus on that right leg and just use the left one for balance. However, if you are more advanced and want to try it, you can do it just completely single leg with the left leg totally off the ground. In that case, what you're going to do is start with your feet together, shoulders back and down, core engaged. Okay, and then kind of pick your left foot up so you're just your toes resting. And we're gonna hinge at the waist, push our hips back, kind of extend that left leg, and then drive through the right heel, squeeze our glutes, come up to standing. Now, what's really important about it, if you're gonna do this type of RDL, just the single leg one, your hips need to be even with each other. So your hips need to stay in a nice straight line. You don't wanna come down and like twist open this way, or come down and kind of drop your left hip. You gotta keep your hips, using your core, nice and even, okay? So if you can do that, definitely do the single leg RDL, give it a try. Okay, lastly, the plank. Pretty simple, a lot of people know the plank, different variations. You can do forearms, so elbows beneath the shoulders, palms down, feet about hip width apart, legs, glutes, abs tight, and hold here. If you want a little variation, something maybe a little easier, just drop to your knees. Make sure your torso is still nice in a straight line though. You don't want to be up like this or dropping down. Nice straight line. You can also do a full armed plank, a full plank, high plank, where your arms are straight like this. And hold like that. Okay. So those are the first three. The second three exercises we're going to do are push-ups, lunges, and a runner side plank. So with push-ups, arms, kind of, if you want to get a little bit more chest, you can do a wider grip. If you want a little bit more triceps, you can do your hands directly underneath your shoulders, a little bit closer. But hands here, kind of rotate your arms or externally rotate your shoulders so the pocket of your elbow is kind of facing outwards. So you get in that high plank position, and again, the legs, the glutes, and the abs tight. Bend at the elbows, come down, push back up. Okay, so modifications, you can drop to your knees like this, making sure you're keeping your core tight. We really want to avoid that lower back dip, okay? Like that. You can also do these up against on a wall or on a ledge like this. Same setup. Your arms might kind of come up a little bit higher like that. All right, lunges. So grabbing your dumbbells, we're gonna do forward lunges. So shoulders back and down, abs engaged. Take a big step forward, bend both knees, keeping your torso upright and most of the weight in that front leg. Push off, come back to standing, and alternate back and forth. Making sure you're keeping that torso up and you're really focusing on most of the weight and that effort coming from the front leg. Okay, and lastly, the runner's side plank. So just like any side plank, you're going to be on your forearm, elbow right underneath your shoulder, legs extended out, stacked on top of each other, and you're going to lift up. So we're targeting the obliques here. If this is challenging enough, stay here. A modification to this would be to drop to your knee on that bottom leg and just hold like this. However, for the runner's side plank, what you're going to do is you're going to drive your elbow and your knee together. So, keeping this position, top knee, top leg, and the arm come together like this, and you extend out like that. Okay, make sure while you're doing this, you're keeping your glutes tight and everything engaged. Like that. Okay, now we're on the last three exercises. We have reverse flies, single leg bridges, and single leg raises. Okay, so reverse flies or rear delt flies. Grab your dumbbells. Same kind of setup for the bent over rows. Feet about hip width apart, shoulders back and down, core engaged. Kind of bend your knees, stick your hips back. So again, your weight is in your hips, not in your lower back. Arms just slightly bent. We don't want them to stick straight, slightly bent. I'm gonna scooch away so I don't hit my hand on that counter. All right, so slightly bent. And really focusing on the rear delts and also your upper back. So in between your shoulder blades, your rhomboids. Okay, so here, bring your arms up, back down. So we're pinching the shoulder blades, and then lifting from the shoulder. Like that. Okay? And again, like everything, the core stays tight, nice straight back. Okay. It's a really important exercise for runners because, spend a lot of time doing this. So you work the chest and the shoulders get rolled forward. So it's really important to strengthen that rear delt to really have the strength to open up your chest a little bit more while you're running, especially when you start getting fatigued. All right, single leg bridge. So this is a glute bridge, but single leg. Okay, so you're gonna lay on your back, feet flat on the floor, knees bent, hands at your sides, and you're gonna engage your abs. So suck your belly button in, like you're trying to stick it to your spine, and then bring your rib cage and hips. Bring rib cage down and hips towards your hips, kind of like you're trying to connect the two. And that gives you a really good ab engagement. And you should also feel your lower back just kind of slightly press against the ground. You don't want it pressing too hard. Okay, so abs engaged, keeping that ab engagement. You're going to lift one of your legs off the ground. We're going to drive through the heel of our right leg and then squeeze our glute and push our hips up towards the ceiling like this. Come back down. So I'm going to show you on the left leg, but right leg out like this. Squeeze, so you're really squeezing your glute here. A lot of the weight is in the heel to midfoot of my left foot, and my core is tight. You're not overarching like this, okay? You don't want a lot of pressure in the lower back. And if you can, really try and keep your hips even with each other like this. So you don't want to come up and have your right hip dropping too low. So keep them nice and even. You can also keep your leg bent like this. It's a little bit easier. So with the leg extended, it's going to be a little bit more weight. If you bend your knee like this, a little bit easier. You still work the glute, but a little less weight to press up. Okay. And lastly, we have a single leg raise, so an ab exercise. This one, we're really targeting your lower abs. So you're going to lay on your back, arms out. You can do at your sides. If you need to support your lower back, you can put your hands kind of underneath your glutes a little bit. Okay, so we're going to flex our abs the same way as we did with the glute bridge. So the belly button gets sucked in and then rib cage down like I'm trying to connect it to my hips. Now all this is engaged. I'm going to straighten my legs and really squeeze my glutes and kind of lock my legs out nice and straight like this. Now slightly, so the hardest version would be to stay like this, lift the leg up using those lower abs, back down, alternating. If you want something a little bit easier, legs are on the ground and my left foot rests while I bring my right leg up and back down, like this. And the most important part is keeping that core engagement the entire time. So you don't want to lift up, bring your leg down, and relax. And then, like that. You see that space, that pocket, my core is disengaging. So really flex the abs, squeeze the glutes, and try and keep that engagement the whole time. Okay. Whew. All right, so showed you all 3 groups of the exercises. So we have 3 full body kind of routines. We're going to go through each one twice. So the first one twice, then the second one twice, and then the third one twice. And then we're going to do a little bit of a banded exercise at the end. Just a couple other exercises to really target some small muscles that are really important to strengthen when you're a runner. Okay. All right, we're going to start with a real quick warm-up. If you don't want to do this warm-up, another idea that would work perfectly or just as well is if you can go outside and do kind of a quick 5 to 10 minute jog, maybe even an exercise bike if you have one, or elliptical, just some sort of cardio equipment. So if you'd rather do that, you can do that for 5 minutes and then meet me back here. But for those of you who don't, we're going to start with just a quick little warm up to get the blood going. Okay, so we're going to start with alternating knee hugs like this. Done my workout video before. We usually start with these ones. Good. Pull up with your biceps. You'll feel a nice little pinch in the hip. Might even get a stretch on that opposite side here. Okay, now quad stretch. So grab your foot, get a nice stretch here, switch back and forth. Good. Now, backwards arm circle, bend down, heel down, toe up, hamstring stretch. Good. Now, forwards arm circle, and same thing, down to stretch the hamstring. Okay, now we're gonna do a hip flexor stretch. So I'm just gonna turn this way, but you're gonna step, couple feet apart, tuck your tailbone, push your hips forward. So right now I'm stretching my left hip flexor. Then I'm gonna straighten my right leg, hinge at my waist, come down, stretch my hamstring. Okay, and then just switch. So tuck my tailbone, get a nice stretch of my hip flexor on my right side, straighten my leg, bend over, hamstring to the left. One more each side. Good. Okay, now we're going to do figure four. So right heel up on the leg, left leg, right above the knee. Bend down till you get a stretch in your right hip. Stand up and switch. You can also do this next to a wall if you kind of need something to hold on to. Another option is you just grab your foot and your leg like this and give it a little pull up, similar stretch. So again, grab your foot, your shin, kind of give it a little pull up with your arms. You should feel a stretch in your outer glute and hip. Whatever works best. Okay, now we're gonna do a side lunge, kind of an inner thigh stretch. So step here, inner thigh stretch. We're going to bounce back up, and we're going to do the same side a couple times. So each time, maybe trying to get a little bit deeper. Try not to also, don't shoot your knee out like this. So over, hips come back a little bit, then the knee bends. Good. Switch sides. Good, one more. Okay, all right, last one we're gonna do is a little bit marching in place. Kind of get the heart rate up just a little bit more. If you want, you can do a little jog. About 10 more seconds. And good. Okay, so anything that I didn't go over or stretch just now, feel free to pause and do that on your own if you need to, but otherwise we are going to get started. Okay, so we have the first full body group. We're gonna do rows, single leg RDLs, and a plank. We're gonna do 15 rows, 15 RDLs on each side, and then 45 seconds plank, okay? All right, so grab your dumbbells, whatever weight you have. Okay, so let's get set. And try and follow along with me in terms of counting reps, okay? If you get behind, that's okay. Just try and catch up and work in the best you can, okay? So let's get set. Ready? Go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, last 3, make sure your core is staying engaged, 14, last one, 15. Good. Okay, we have the single leg RDL next. So I'm going to start by demonstrating the staggered stance one, and then the next round I'll demonstrate the single leg one with no staggered stance, just plain old single leg. Okay, so let's start on the right leg. So right leg out front, left foot behind, the weight shifted onto that right leg, so shoulders back and down, your abs are engaged. Okay, ready? Down, push your hips back, slow as you can go, and then drive through the heels, squeeze your glutes, come up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, good. And remember, you can keep a pretty straight leg, your right leg pretty straight. You can also bend at the knee a little bit. Let's do 3 more. Last one. Nice. All right. Switch legs, so the left foot out front, right foot is behind. Shift your weight forward to your left leg. Get set with the shoulders, the abs. Okay, ready? And go. So I'm not going to count out loud this time. I'm going to do 15, and I'm going to let you guys kind of do 15 at your own pace. Just how about that was number 4 for me. Also, if you do your first few reps and realize your alignment's a little off, you need to move your foot, go ahead. I have 2 more. Last one. Just kidding, 1 more. Good. All right. So dumbbells down, and we have the plank now. So get set, whether in the full plank, on the forearms, or kneeling in forearms. Okay, I'm going to start the timer, starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Good. Okay, make sure you're all set up, form is good. We're going to do 45 seconds for this first one. If you do need a little bit more support, you can spread your legs out just a little bit, but try not to go too far. If you want one a little bit more challenging, keep your legs squeezed together, feet right next to each other. Good job, guys. Oh, wow. Almost done. In 3, 2, 1, rest. Okay. We're going to take about 45 seconds to a minute to rest. So this workout isn't about getting your heart rate up, making it kind of cardio-like. This is purely strength. If you're a runner and you're doing this, you get enough cardio when you're out running. The strength part is just about the strength. Grab some water if you need it. All right, so we got 1 more round of all these exercises. Okay, got about 20 seconds left. We get 1 more sip of water. All right, so I'm gonna try again. I'm not gonna count every single rep, but I'll give you guys I kind of count my own as I go. And maybe give you about 30-ish seconds to get those 15 reps in, maybe 35 seconds, okay? And then we'll rest for a little bit and then get into the single leg RDLs and then kind of go through that way. All right, grab your dumbbells, starting with the bent over rows. Okay, ready? Get set, go. Good, squeeze those shoulder blades. Don't let your shoulder blades shrug up. Also, if you want to challenge your core a little bit more, you can do single arm alternating like this. So it creates a little bit more imbalance, makes your core have to work a little bit harder. Whichever you want to do. Good. All right, a few more seconds. 3, 2, 1, rest. Okay, now we have the single leg RDL. I'm going to count actual reps for this one. So I'm going to do the full single leg one, but if you like the staggered stance, keep up with that one, okay? All right, starting on the right leg, shoulders back and down. My feet start even with each other for this one. Core engaged. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we want to make sure these are nice and controlled. We're not just powering through. 5, 6, 7, 8. And every rep doesn't have to be perfect. I know mine aren't. This is something that I'm constantly working on to try and make better. That was 10. Sometimes lose balance, you know. So just try your best. Good. 3 more. 1, 2, last one. Good. All right, switching to the left leg now. Shake it out for a sec. Okay, so standing up straight, shoulders back, core engaged. I'm also squeezing my glutes a little bit because squeezing them, engaging your glutes a little bit helps keep your pelvis and your hips in line. Okay, it helps stabilize it. If your glutes are really loose, your pelvis can kind of move around a bit more. So the tight abs and a slight squeeze in the glutes helps keep this nice and still and level. Okay, all right, ready? Left leg, go. 1. Really push those hips back. 2, 3, 4. Also, if you're bending your standing leg, the knee, make sure the knee isn't shooting out really far over your ankle. It can go a little bit forward, but not much. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Good job. Keep it up. 12. Really focus on that glute and hamstring of the left leg. 13, 14, 15. Whew, nice. Almost lost my balance on that last one. Okay, now plank. Okay, we're going to do a full 60 seconds this time, so choose whichever variation you want. All right, get set, starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Plank is actually one of those exercises that's kind of hard for me. I have a hard time keeping the correct position the whole time. I think I just need to work on my core strength, so sometimes I'll kind of stop and adjust, try something new. But again, make sure your quads, your glutes, and your abs are all engaged. 15 seconds left. Good job. 5 seconds. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Whew, rest. Okay. Grab a sip of water. We are done with those 3 exercises. We're now going to move on to the second 3. So the second 3, we have push-ups, lunges, and the side runner plank. All right, what I think I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to try doing time instead of counting reps. But like I said, let's do like 35 seconds of work. You just get through as many reps as you can, hopefully somewhere between 12 and 15. Then we'll rest for like 15 seconds. Then we'll get started in with the lunges and see if that goes better. Okay, let's take a rest for another 20 seconds. We're going to start with push-ups. Okay, so get my timer ready here. Okay, starting with push-ups. We're going to do 30 seconds, okay? 30 seconds. Starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Good job, guys. Almost there. And 3, 2, 1, rest. Okay, so that was about 30-ish, 35 seconds. Rest for another 15. And we're going to start with the lunges. Okay, so we're going to do alternating forward lunges, okay? Forward step. Ready in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so for this one, we're gonna go a little bit longer. Maybe a minute, just because we wanna make sure we get 12 to 15 each leg. Keep that core tight. And when you step forward, don't let your knee shoot super far forward, okay? Keep the weight in that heel and midfoot and push off. Doesn't have to be big steps either. Nice job. We got about 20 seconds left. Good. Last one. And rest. Okay. Put those down. All right, we got the side runner plank next. Pick whatever side you want to start with. Okay, if you are just holding a side plank, that's okay. You go ahead and do that. And we're going to count 10 to 12 reps. Let's do 12 reps each side if you're doing the side plank with that kind of runner component to it. All right, ready? So 3, 2, 1. Let's get started. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep that core tight. 9, 10. 2 more. 11, 12. Good. All right. Switching to the other side. Elbow under the shoulder, legs straight, or if you need to do this, you can also do a side plank like this and still do the runner, okay? So whatever you prefer. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, good job, 2 more, 11, 12, and rest. Okay, whew. We're gonna rest for about a minute and then we're gonna do the second round of all those. So, second round, and then we'll move on to the third group of exercises. Okay, so I know I've gone back and forth on this, trying to see what works best. Thanks for sticking with me. But I think I'm gonna count reps, okay? So I'm gonna count reps, we're not gonna do the time thing. So just try and stick with me with the reps. We're gonna do 12 push-ups, we're gonna do 12 lunges each leg, and then we're gonna do the runner plank 12 each side, okay? And again, just stick with me as best you can. I know we've gone back and forth, sorry, but I promise we'll stick with this the rest of the time. Okay, so, push-ups, you don't need your dumbbells for that. Okay, so starting in our push-up position, we're gonna do 12. Remember, quality over quantity, so really keep an eye on your form and be honest with yourself. Can I do these full push-ups well? Do I need to drop to my knees? Do I need to go up onto a wall? Any option works perfectly as long as your form is good. Okay, so starting 3, 2, 1, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I'm gonna drop to my knees, 9, 10, 11, last one, 12. Whew, okay. Rest for about 15, 20 seconds. Let's do the lunges. All right. Now, let's do reverse. No, stick with the forward lunges, but let's do right leg and then left leg, okay? So right leg first, we're gonna do 12, then we're gonna switch. Ready, set, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, torso nice and upright, 9, 10, keeping the weight in your heel and midfoot, 11, 12. Okay, left leg now, starting in 3, 2, 1, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 more, 11, 12. Awesome. Okay. Onto that side plank, runner side plank, whatever variation you want to do. Get set and let's go. 1, 2. So you're trying to keep that core. 3, nice and tight. 4, and don't rotate and move a lot. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 more, 11, 12. Whew. Okay, spinning over to the other side. Just got 12 more. Get a nice long break. Okay, long, a minute or so, but that's pretty long. Okay, ready? Last 12, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, good job, 9, 10, 11, last one, and 12. Whew, okay, ready, rest, grab some water, get about a minute or so to rest. And we're gonna start with the third group, of exercises. So we're gonna do the reverse flies or the rear delt flies, single leg bridge, and then the single leg raise ab exercise. Okay, we're gonna do 15 flies. We're gonna do 15 single leg bridges on each side, and then we're gonna do 15 single leg raises, but we're gonna be alternating with those, so it'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 30, okay? All right, I'm gonna take another 10 to 15 seconds, catch your breath. I know this is supposed to be a strength exercise, workout, I mean, but that doesn't mean you're not gonna get sweaty and your heart rate isn't gonna get up. All right, rest time over. Let's start with that's third group of exercises. So the dumbbell reverse flies. Grab your dumbbells, we're gonna do 15, okay? So get set, feet shoulder width apart, hip width apart. Sit back in your hips, nice straight torso, abs engaged. Okay, remember, don't wanna hit my hand on that counter again. Okay, so rear delts and the rhomboids, that's what we're trying to focus on. Okay, ready, set, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, last one, 15. Good. All right, single leg bridge. If you want, you can put a dumbbell on your hips for these to kind of increase the weight, but I'm gonna start with body weight first. Okay, so feet flat, abs engaged, so remember to suck the belly button in, bring the rib cage down like you're trying to connect it to your hips. Okay, so left leg first. I'm gonna start with my right leg is bent, drive through the heel, squeeze my glutes, hips up. That was 1. We're going to do 15. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, last one, 15. Good. All right, one thing I want to say real quick, when you push up into the bridge, you want your knee to be right over your ankle. I know it's hard to tell. You may be watching me and maybe mine isn't lining up perfectly, but you really just don't want your knee to shoot out past. You don't want your foot to be too close to your butt. You also don't want it to be too far away. So just use your best judgment. I'm trying to find the right foot placement, but that's what we're aiming for, okay? So, right leg now. Get set. Okay, 15. Ready? And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Try and keep those hips even. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, one more, and 15. Good. Okay, now we're going to move right into those leg raises. So, hands at your sides or underneath your butt if your lower back needs a little bit more support. Okay, abs flex the same way, belly button in, rib cage down, all these front muscles engaged. Okay, legs out straight. All right, so alternating, ready? Hold on, let me get reset here. All right, 3, 2, 1, right leg first, left leg, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can also lift your head up like this, 7, 8, as long as it doesn't cause your neck a lot of pain, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Good. Really focus on those lower abs. 25, 26, 27, 28, last two, 29, 30. Whew. Okay, that one burned. Go ahead, catch your breath. Get a minute of rest, and we're gonna do our last round of exercises. Grab some water if you need it. All right, this last round, I'm gonna show you some modifications. If any of those that we just did were a little too much, I'm gonna go through some modifications this round, okay? So first one for the dumbbell flies, the bent over ones. If the dumbbells you have maybe are too heavy, I would suggest doing them just body weight. You still get a good exercise. You can also maybe try and do one arm at a time, okay? Oh, good. We still got about 20 seconds left. All right, let's get set up. We'll start this last round. Okay, we have the bent over flies. Starting in 3, 2, 1, go. 1, I'm always too close to that thing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, last 3, 13, 14, 15. Nice. Okay, we got those single leg bridges. Come on down. All right, so I'm going to show you so you can do these. If the single leg ones were really hard, or maybe you just weren't feeling it in your glute enough, we're going to do a staggered stance. Okay, so kind of similar to the RDL we did before, where you have a back leg down just to assist a little bit. Okay, so starting with the left leg, get set, abs tighten everything. You're going to take your right leg, so instead of having it up like this, you're going to place it on the ground just a little bit further away from you than where your left leg is. Heel down like this. Okay, we're going to bridge up, and you're still focusing on really squeezing that left glute, but your right heel is kind of pushing into the ground just a little bit to help get your hips up, okay? So that kind of 70 on the left leg, 30 on the right leg distribution. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And like I said, you can adjust your foot position. 11 at any time. 12, 13, 14, last one, 15. Good. All right, switch the right leg. Again, if you're doing that staggered stance, your left foot is out just a little bit further, heel up, but we're still pushing, having the primary amount of our effort on our right leg. Okay, ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, really squeeze that glute, 6, drive through the heel of the right leg, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, keep those hips even, 13, 14, last one, 15. Good. All right, last round of those leg raises. Okay, if what we did before is a little too hard, you can keep your left leg on the ground, right leg out, and just do single leg like this. okay? Counting might be a little bit off because we're going to be doing the alternating ones, but just 1, 2, like that, and then switch when we get to 15, okay? All right, ready, set, abs flexed, everything ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, good, 10 more, 21, 22, 23, 24, really focus on those lower abs, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Whew. All right, nice job, guys. Okay, so we are done with the dumbbell kind of strengthening part. And now, just real quick at the end here, I'm going to take you through some hip strengthening exercises that you can do. So you are going to need a looped band for one of them. You can use a looped band for all three, which is what I'm going to do, but you can do the first two exercises without the band, okay? So we're going to be working on strengthening our glute medius and the muscles responsible for kind of laterally moving our leg, externally rotating, okay, our abductors, hip abductors. All right, so catch your breath, grab my band real quick. All right, so this is what the looped band looks like. Booty bands, as people call them. You can also take a TheraBand and just tie it in a loop in a knot. You want it to be tight, but we're going to be doing a lot of reps, so you want to be using a light band. The goal for these exercises is lightweight, a lot of reps, okay? We want to get a really good burn, but you don't want it to be too light and not feel like you're working the muscle, okay? So if you have a selection of bands, you might need to play around with it a little bit, but use your best judgment. Okay, so we're going to start with side lying clams. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of these, but just want to throw this in at the very end. Really good for runners and really good for your knee health too. Having a strong butt and hip muscles helps protect your knees and kind of everything else down the chain, down to your foot and your ankle. Okay, so the band is going to go around just above your knees. You're going to lie on your side. You can kind of put your head on your arm like this. You can outstretch your arm like that. You can even do this if you want to. So I like to do this. Okay, so lying on your side, knees stacked and feet stacked on top of each other. Your legs are bent 90 degrees, and you're going to kind of tuck your tailbone a little bit and squeeze your abs. And you're almost going to be leaning kind of slightly forward towards the ground. Not too far, but just a little bit. All right, and while keeping the core tight in this slight hip tuck, you are going to, from right here, this muscle, lift that right leg up like that, back down. Now, the key part in this is your hips cannot move. So you can't just open up and turn sideways and have your hips kind of all willy-nilly moving like that, okay? So that's why the core is tight. You got that pelvic tilt, anterior, posterior tilt to keep the hips and the pelvis stable. All right. We're gonna do 20 reps on each side. We're just gonna go through once with every exercise, okay? It's about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You guys just keep doing reps while I talk. Try and aim for 20-ish, but give a tip. I really like holding my hand and pressing my fingers into that muscle that I'm supposed to be working. Okay, it really helps with that mind-muscle connection. It lets my brain really target the muscle that I'm supposed to be working. Okay, keep those knees stacked, one on top of the other, hips staying still. Let's do 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Good. All right, while still laying on this side, we are going to straighten our legs. So we're going to do a straight leg, side laying leg raise like that. Okay, so feet stacked, legs right on top of one another. Same thing, you want your abs flexed and your hips, your pelvis just slightly posterior, so kind of tucking your tailbone a little bit. Keep that engaged. You want your top leg to be flexed straight, so locked out straight. Okay, and then we're lifting from that same muscle we were just working, your glute medius, okay? Ready? So lift up like this. The hips stay nice and still. We're not like, you're not twisting and kind of cranking your hip up like that. The pelvis stays still as possible. Not every rep is gonna be perfect, but just want you to know kind of what to work towards, okay? All right, we're gonna do 20. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can also put your hand kind of out in front like this. Keep yourself from wobbling. Sometimes I have to do that. And it's okay if you can't lift your leg super high. You don't need to be able to crank like woo all the way up there, you know. Just a little bit is fine. As long, whatever it takes to work that muscle. Good. Reset if you feel like maybe you kind of lost that core engagement, that pelvic tilt. Let's do 4 more. 1, 2, 3, last one, 4. Okay, switch sides. We're gonna do the same thing on the left side, and then we're gonna do our third exercise after. All right, on your left, knees, legs bent 90 degrees, stacked, abs tucked, pelvis tucked, keeping that engagement, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. And with this one as well, your knee doesn't need to go that high, you know? The higher your knee goes is not equivalent to that muscle being really strong, okay? If you can only lift your knee a little bit, that's totally fine. Okay, let's do 3 more. 1, 2, last one, 3. Good. All right, straighten the leg. Those straight leg lifts, abs engaged, pelvis a little bit tucked, left leg locked straight. 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, try and keep the hips nice and level. You don't want them moving too much. Moves a little bit, that's okay, but you just want to try and practice keeping them still. Nice. If you're using thick enough band, you should get a pretty good burn right now, right in this area. Let's do 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, last one, 5. Whew. Okay. Last exercise we're gonna do, struggle my way up with this band, is monster walks. Okay, so we are targeting again glute medius, these muscles responsible for abducting your hip, moving your hip and your leg up and out. Okay, but we're gonna move the band down to our ankles like this. Okay, your feet are gonna be kind of a squat, whatever your squat stance is. So shoulder width is kind of the norm, but if it's a little bit wider, that's okay. So here, shoulders back and down. Okay, and you want to stick your butt back. You're basically going to be in kind of a half squat position like this. Okay, making sure your core is tight and that same like slight posterior pelvic tilt where your hips are kind of tucked under. Okay, so here, hands out in front, and using this hip, this side butt muscle here, pull the band apart, bring this leg in. Want to keep constant tension on the band. Don't want to move it too close and let it get slack, okay? Constant tension. We're going to do 5 steps to the right, then 5 steps to the left, and we're going to alternate, just keep going back and forth, okay? Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure your knees are staying right over your feet. Might come in just a little bit, but we really just want to avoid something like this, okay? You don't want that big of a knee caving in. Good. And you don't need to take massive steps. Little steps like this still work that muscle. You can take big steps, but again, that knee needs to stay right over your foot. Good, you guys keep going. I'm gonna face this way just so you can kind of see sideways what your body should look like, okay? Okay, like that. I'm gonna switch back to this direction. Let's do one more time to the right. 5, last one to the left. 2, 3, 4, 5. Whew. Done. All right. So if you had a real good burn through all those exercises, enough so that you felt the muscle working, but not so much so that your form was suffering, that's how you know you used the right band. If maybe it was too easy, you could do more reps or a thicker band. And if it was too hard, couldn't keep the form, couldn't get past 10 reps, lighten the band a bit. Okay, so thank you for joining me today, guys, for that runner's workout. This is also a good workout. If you don't run, it's a really good lower body workout, and we did work a lot of muscles, strengthening muscles that everybody uses. All right, well, thanks for joining me. Have a good rest of your week. Stay happy, stay healthy. Bye, guys.